All right, guys, it's showtime. Now, I realized right off the bat that there are going to be some simpletons and people with soft heads who can't look beyond what's in front of them. They're going to see this screen, they're going to see the thumbnail, and they're going to call me an Uncle Tom and a coon and a sellout for selling out my own race while ignoring the facts that I'm about to bring up in this video about these people you see before you on this screen. Because see, that's how the programming works. That's how useful idiots work. If you're a useful idiot, you are probably attacking somebody who's calling out the people you clamor for. But when they're done with using you to, attack people who criticize them, you'll be in the same boat. Case in point, this whole COVID situation, right? Remember when they were talking about it was your patriotic duty to get vaccinated and wear a mask? They gave people this false sense of moral superiority. And then they, of course, they shamed all of us. They wagged their fingers in our face, only to turn around and have to wear a mask and go right back into lockdown. So that's how useful idiots work, right? Once your usefulness is run out, then they just throw you under the bus. And the same can be said for these people right here. Yeah, the people in this screen, as you can tell, they're all black. But hey, these are some of the biggest hypocrites in today's society, period. I couldn't even, I would have no live stream to bring you guys today if not for their participation, if not for them being hypocrites. You have to wonder, do they even want to be taken seriously? I'm thinking they don't, because there's no way they're Ivy League educated, especially if you're talking about Obama, Ivy League educated. Nobody can call him stupid. He knows how bad this looks. They know how stupid this looks. That's why Obama at his party didn't want people taking photos, didn't want people recording videos. Why not? It's your 60th birthday bash. Don't you want the world to see how much fun you had? Instead of trying to keep everything in house, keep it on the hush and have like a ban on photos and videos. It's because that looks bad. They know that this looks bad. Now, I have so many emotions about this. I've been angry. I've laughed. It's just, what do you even do anymore? If you're not at least laughing some of the time, you'll just be depressed constantly. I mean, first of all, we'll just go across the screen. We'll start with Cori Bush in the left. I don't know how I forgot this in the last stream where I talked about this woman, this Cori Bush. I totally spaced that not even a month ago, she was out there talking about black birthing people. So off top, I can't take anybody seriously who believes men can get pregnant and have babies. Anybody who thinks that instantly loses all credibility with me. Sorry, you just have no credibility. And then for her to go out there and trot out this made up term just to get some woke points, talking about black birthing people, man, if you don't get out here with that nonsense, that alone discredited her way before she came in with the I'm going to spend $200K on private security. And yes, we need to defund the police. She said that in the same sentence, by the way, because in her mind, the people who listen to her won't see the hypocrisy right there in their face. They won't see it. She knows that. She knows who her audience is. I mean, straight up. So I can't take a person like that seriously. And it goes with all of these people, not just the ones you see on screen here. Truth be told, there's no thumbnail big enough for everybody that deserves this level of criticism. But these are the most recent examples. Cori Bush defunding police, but she acknowledges that private security is a must for her. So she knows it's important to have law enforcement protecting you. She just doesn't think the plebs in her city and her district deserve it. And she thinks all of us are plebs, right? You're not worth it. I need my security so I can continue going to the halls of Congress and destroying this country. That's what she was communicating, everybody paying attention. But again, it's the soft-headed, it's the people that are low info, the people that watch Joy Reid every night, listening to her live, people that watch, taking the mainstream, they just let it go right over her head, right over their head. They just, I don't see the hypocrisy. I don't see how she's a hypocrite. I don't see anything. All right. And then you talk about Lori Lightfoot. Okay. Lori Lightfoot just had Lollapalooza go on in her city, which she attended. And then she turned around and locked down her city. There's going to be mask mandates for kids going back to school and the whole nine. Now, before I even go any further, because I probably should have said this at the beginning, these are the same people that will tell you that America is systemically racist. America is systemically racist. It holds back people of color. They just can't advance. It's just not possible. Therefore, we need to radically reshape it. But these are the same people in positions of extreme power, not just limited power, like, oh, you're a judge or whatever, you're a lawyer or whatever. These are mayors, city council, former president. These are all politicians, black politicians that somehow slip through the cracks of white supremacy. White supremacy is not strong enough to keep out all the black people because they got through. And not only did they get through, they flexed their power. I mean, you couldn't even go see a family member in the hospital with COVID. You couldn't give them a proper burial or, honor their memory with a funeral during COVID, let alone throw a gigantic birthday bash for yourself. But the first black president of the United States could do just that. On Martha's Vineyard, of all places, a super rich white area, he could have this giant party and have white Secret Service block out the airspace, have a bunch of people come attend this thing. But you pleb, you deplorable dreg of society, you peons out there, you can't do that. But the first black president, twice elected, can do all that. But he is in the same breath, will tell you how America's systemically racist. All of these politicians, black, white, the rest, they're telling you, you can't do it. This country sucks. And you're the bad person because you're not following their orders, their guidelines, their decrees. But they got the power to carve out their own little enclave of freedom in a country that supposedly is oppressing them. It's funny how that works. It's always the richest, wealthiest, most successful people telling the rest of us how bad we have it and how there's going to be some barrier to entry that we just cannot clear. Without their help, coincidentally, they need to be the heroes at the end of the day. Vote for me. I need to go back to Congress to defund your police because that's going to make your community safer. But in order to do that, I need you to pay for my private security with your tax dollars. That's how that works. It works on simpletons. It doesn't work on the rest of us who think critically and see right through this BS. So Lori Lightfoot, the mayor of the third largest city in America, could shut down her entire city. While her entire city was shut down last year, she went out and got a haircut because that's privilege. I'm powerful in this supposedly racist white country where it took white people to elect you in the first place. See, this is where I'll get called Uncle Tom, because when people don't like the facts, when they don't like what you're saying, they resort to personal ad hominem attacks. It's just the way it goes. But that's how you know you're over the target. If all they can do is respond to your appearance or the way you talk or the way you dress, that means you hit it out of the park and they got nothing else. That's their last resort. But they know I'm not wrong. So, mayor of the third largest city, black woman, first black gay woman, if you think that's important. That's the identity politics. That's their whole philosophy, right? The first of her kind shuts down her city after Lollapalooza. Talk about privilege. Muriel Bowser just celebrated her 49th birthday in D.C., where they're at like 131 murders for the year, something crazy, ridiculous like that. She defunded the police. I'm sure she has private security. Now she's trying to backpedal and refund the police. Funny how that works. But she held a party maskless and then put her mask mandate back in place after she partied. So not only are they not oppressed, they got some real power in this country. Real power. The mayor of our nation's capital, big platform, could have all of these people show up to her party. She can host, and she did something with a wedding also last weekend. She straight up told her DC residents, hey, you got to put your mask on. And people who the programming and propaganda, it works on them, they put the mask on and they just obeyed. They looked the other way. In fact, they probably attacked you for not putting on a mask, because that's how useful idiots work. They'll look at everybody except the people who should be looked at. They're mad at you for not getting a jab. It's because it's your patriotic duty to get the shot and to mask up. They're angry that you didn't do it instead of being angry at the people who cooked this thing up in a lab. That is how useful idiots work. They're mad at you about climate change because you're not doing the right thing. You're not shrinking your carbon footprint. So we're mad at you. We're not mad at these people. We're not mad at these hypocrites, these phonies, these frauds that want you to take them seriously. They actually want you to take them seriously. And then they have the nerve to be shocked that you don't. In fact, if you notice, they'll want you thrown off social media. They'll call you, certainly at the very least, they'll call you a racist if you criticize any of these four. You're a racist if you criticize Lori Lightfoot. She said it herself. She said it herself. People criticizing me, it's probably because I'm a black woman. It's not because I'm such a fraud and a liar and I insult everyone's intelligence every day as I get away with my hypocrisy, just sloppy with it. That's how they work. That's how they operate. You know, I'm not taking anybody serious. It talks about defunding the police while also hiring private security. Sorry, no credibility. I'm not taking any of that seriously. I'm not taking this seriously when the former president holds this massive party after lying, like, oh, we're going to scale it back because we understand we have a surge of the Delta variant. I mean, people who use their heads knew that that was a lie from the beginning. You knew how bad it looked before you got criticized. Then when you said you were going to scale it back, nobody believed you were going to scale it back. Then when you didn't scale it back and you got caught not scaling it back, now they're out there telling you it's okay. They're sophisticated. I got the receipt on that. I'm about to play it for you guys right now. If I can get this screen over here. Here we go. I got the receipt right here. Here's what they think of you dregs of society. Listen to this.
Other people said, you know, this is really being overblown. They're following all the safety precautions. People are going to sporting events that are bigger than this. This is going to be safe. This is a sophisticated, vaccinated crowd, and this is just about optics. It's not about safety.
You hear that? It's okay that Obama had this giant party because they're sophisticated. You're not so sophisticated, so you can't have a party. You can't gather with friends and family in your backyard. You need to put on a mask everywhere you go. But they don't get to. They don't have to. Different set of rules for them. Useful idiots fall for that. And they'll come after you. Instead of, like in other countries where we should actually be a lot better, put political differences aside and say, hey, we got a common enemy and they're trying to crush us all. They're destroying. They're making everybody's life suck. Instead, you got people out there, oh my gosh, look at his attire. Looks like he had fun at his 60th. Ridiculous. Right? Not going to take them seriously. That party alone basically ended the pandemic. That's it. It's not real. It's not real if they can gather. And then on the news, the state-run propaganda news right there, they just told you this is a sophisticated crowd of vaccinated people. Well, there's at least one source that says they weren't requiring vaccines. We'll see what emerges from that. And then that contradicts the previous statement where they're like, we're going to actually scale this back because it's not appropriate to have this during the surge. So which one is it? It's not appropriate to gather because of the surge, or it doesn't matter that they gathered in a large crowd because they're sophisticated people. Unlike you critics. Wow. To your face. That's what they're telling you, literally to your face on television. And they're doing it with a straight face. And they're going to trot back out there again tomorrow with more hypocrisy, more rules for thee, not for me, in this caste system, this two-tiered society, two-tiered justice system. People that deserve to be in prison have more freedom than you, a law-abiding citizen. That's the reality. That's the truth. So, I mean, what else can you really say at this point, guys? This is where we are in 2021. You've got these frauds. You've got these hypocrites. They're telling you you need to take this super duper seriously. Also, you need to trust our media because they are the arbiters of truth. Super objective, super honest, unbiased, just responsible reporting. The most trusted name in news. Trust all of them, as we saw real headlines last year where they said the George Floyd protests actually dropped COVID numbers. Kid you not. I was actually looking for that article because I saw somebody post it the other day and I should have retweeted it. That's usually what I do. If I want to find it again, just retweet it. But there's an article from last year where they're like, did the George Floyd riots or riots, did those cause a spike in COVID numbers? Well, recent studies show that it didn't. But the January 6th gathering and all the Trump rallies definitely led to spikes in super spreader events thereafter. But they want you to take it seriously at the same time that they're showing you side by side. I believe it was Newsweek. The same news outlet showed or ran a story of COVID's not spiking, totally not spiking if you are liberal leaning or if you're out in the street protesting for racial justice. There is no COVID surge. But if you're to the right of Nancy Pelosi, if you are even thinking about voting for Trump, if you gather with 5 people, that's a super spreader event. You're not patriotic. And they're doing the same thing this year. What did we just have over the past, 3 weeks? You had the Milwaukee Bucks win the NBA Finals. Tens of thousands of people gathered in Milwaukee. Crickets from the media. Then you had Lollapalooza, where Lori Lightfoot was in attendance. Hundreds of thousands of people there. I think it was at least 100,000 daily attendees. Little to no, uprise or little to no media coverage. They didn't really care a whole lot. Now, this week, you got Barack Obama's birthday bash in Martha's Vineyard, where private jets were taken out to go to that thing. I'll get to that again. Nothing, almost nothing from the media outside of the usual conservative media. But what does Fauci go on TV to talk about? Sturgis. Sturgis is just irresponsible. What's happening with Sturgis? I mean, I get it. People want to be free, but you got to understand we're in the middle of a public health emergency. But they also want you to take this seriously. When they double standards, flip-flop, they change directions like the wind, all of their credibility is just shot to hell. But they want you to take them seriously as they go back on TV, these propaganda outlets, get softball questions. They're blabbing their expertise on the subject matter here. COVID doesn't spread at Lollapalooza. It definitely doesn't spread at Martha's Vineyard when Barack is celebrating his 60th. But Sturgis, South Dakota is a super spreader event. January 6th, super spreader event. BLM protests, not so much. Not so much. Just saying. Never take these people seriously. They deserve no respect. They deserve to never be taken seriously. And people should live their lives normally. Now, see, for me, it didn't really matter a whole lot because I didn't change anything about the way I live my life from the beginning of this pandemic to right now. So I don't give a damn what the CDC says. I wouldn't care if Ron DeSantis himself passed a mask mandate tomorrow. Wouldn't change a damn thing about what I do. And a lot of people I know, especially out here where I live, it doesn't bother us. But for the people that just follow blindly, just let these frauds just tell them what to do while they're on camera, they're busted in plain sight, being hypocrites, not following their own orders. And I could just go down the list. It's not just isolated, anecdotal, 1 to 2 people got caught being hypocrites. It's Whitmer, Newsom, de Blasio, Lightfoot, Muriel Bowser, Barack Obama, the mayor of Austin, Texas, Nancy Pelosi, every freaking person that's out there telling you, fear COVID, oh my gosh, it's so dangerous, have been caught without masks, have been caught dining out, gathering in groups, traveling, AOC, taking pictures, photo ops, theater. Oh, cameras are on. Let me put the mask on. Oh, now I can take it off. John Kerry, climate change. It's an existential threat. We're all going to be dead in 10 years. Florida's going to be underwater. So will all the islands off of the East Coast. Everybody should be moving to higher land. Start eating, synthetic beef and all this stuff that these climate change alarmists push. And they're flying in freaking private jets to go celebrate Barack's birthday in racist white Martha's Vineyard, right? So I don't want to hear nothing else about systemic racism, nothing about this climate change is our World War II, all that hyperbole and garbage. I don't want to hear nothing about this pandemic and how we're all going to die unless we listen to the CDC and Fauci flip-flop several times. I don't want to hear it. Tuning it out, done with it. I was never really taking it serious because I've been seeing this for years. This isn't just something that happened recently. This is what happens in third world countries where the elite, upper echelon, ruling class tells you you can't live a normal life while they live an extravagant life. I normally do shout outs at the beginning, but I was just fired up and I wanted to jump right in. So let me do that quickly, and then I'm going to end the stream. Keeping it short today. Appreciate everybody that tuned in. Please make sure that you give this a thumbs up so we can circumvent YouTube's algorithms. That's the only way that I get views. That's the only way I get new subs is I got to tell people watching for the first time to sub and hit the bell notification. Pretty sure I'll be live every day this week. I got a later start today because I had some plumbers over here doing some work on the house, but I'll be live pretty much every day this week, hopefully sooner, but this might work too. But yeah, anyway, give it a thumbs up. That's the only way that people will see this stream. YouTube doesn't want people seeing this stream. They just don't. The fact-checking overlords will probably flag this, but we can overcome it. Like, share, subscribe, follow me on different social media. I'm not just here. I'm on Odyssey. I'm on Rumble. I'm on BitChute, Telegram. Okay, so let me get some shout outs, and I want to read out some of the super chats. So we got DM always in the building, Todd or T Dot, sorry. And we've got I'll just do the shout outs from the bottom. Betty Boop said, Mike, did you see the Mark Dice video today? If not, watch it. I have not seen it yet. I will check it out. I never miss a Mark Dice video. MAGA Maniac, thank you for your super chat. Tanya says, only the truth on Mike's channel. Absolutely. Absolutely, positively. Okay, here we are at the bottom. John Kennedy is in the chat. Snap. What up? Jason, Marlena, Lisa, Tanya, TS Black. Man, never take these people seriously. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. Don't take these frauds, these hypocrites, these phonies. These self-righteous, sophisticated narcissists, what they really are, don't take them seriously ever. Barack Obama's 60th birthday party, hundreds of people there. Some of the worst people. Some of the worst people. Chrissy Teigen, are you kidding me? Bullying people to the point where they almost commit suicide. Her disgusting tweets that she had to delete. Oh my gosh. Or somebody talking about black birthing people. Black birthing people because men can apparently get pregnant. Only in the minds of the delusional. Do you take that seriously when someone says birthing people? I'm sorry, you mean pregnant ladies? Pregnant ladies are birthing people. They're people that give birth, but they're all women. 100% of them are. Sorry, I just had to go in. I just had to go in on these frauds, man, while they're telling you you're the deplorable drag of society. It's projection. They know how horrible they are. Talk about systemic racism. These people, man, give me a break. Unspecified V says, we're with you, brother. Rachel says, stand up. Lisa says they're all evil. Demar says, deplorable here too. Proud of it. I mean, those words actually don't even have meaning. What does it even mean to call someone deplorable? Right? It's just like calling someone racist. Does that even have a meaning anymore? When you call everything racist or sexist or xenophobic, nothing is racist, sexist, or xenophobic. They overuse these terms. They want you to take them seriously while they compare climate change to World War II. They compare January 6th to Pearl Harbor and the Civil War. You're never going to be taken seriously. In fact, we're going to make fun of you. We're going to mock you. All right, Tanya, Lil Ripper, free indeed. Amber said, pick a side, good or evil. DM said, yeah, but something, charge anyone with insurrection. Don't even get me started, DM. That's a whole nother topic. We ain't even going to go there today. I just don't have time for it today. We can save that for tomorrow. I got to stay hyper focused on this because this story ended up being much bigger than I thought. I figured, okay, it's another hypocritical event, rules for thee, not for me. But no, this was a 3-day event in which they had the audacity to say, okay, we understand. We're in a pandemic. We'll scale it back. Just kidding, guys. We're not scaling it back. All right, party's on as usual. That was even worse. It would have been better if they were just like, sorry, we already paid for the catering. We've already paid the people who put together this massive tent. We got the DJs on deck. People have booked their flights. They're already starting to arrive in Martha's Vineyard. We're throwing it. I would have an ounce of respect for them if they were just like, we're going to continue as planned. Sorry, we know how bad it looks, but we just don't care. Instead, they're like, we're going to scale it back. Let's respond to this controversy. Let's respond to the criticism and say that we're just going to scale it back to close friends and family. But then they end up having it anyway. And like I said, don't ever listen to any of these people tell you about systemic racism when they can close a whole city except for the people in their circle, and they get to go out on the town, have all this fun, party, and then they govern how many people are they oppressing while they themselves don't live by those rules. I want to hear about it. I want to hear about climate change when John Kerry literally flew to Martha's Vineyard in a private freaking jet. End of story. Flying to Martha's Vineyard, which should be underwater. All that CO2 that went in the atmosphere for these elites, nothing else needs to be said about climate change. If we're going to use hyperbole, these people are World War II. These people are the frauds. These people are more dangerous than the insurrectionists on January 6th. They've got all the power. And they live in the most powerful country on earth. The most corrupt government on earth is the United States government. because they have the power to bankroll other small corrupt governments around the world. What do you think all those regime change wars were in the Middle East? So they can put their own little puppet in there. Just saying, I could continue going on about this, but I've said enough, and I want people to rewatch this stream. So again, thank you to everyone that tuned in. If you just tuned in and you're new, subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss my next stream. Everybody watching right now, if you like what you heard, if you like what you see, hit the thumbs up and share it with people. Help me get around YouTube's algorithms. The only way I could do that is with engagement, likes, comments, shares. Thank you to all the super chatters. Thank you to the mods. I'm wrapping up. I'm signing out here from the Freedom Peninsula. That is Florida. I'll catch you guys in the next stream. God bless you.